What's up, everybody? So, hey, I've made a couple like 45-minute videos or whatever about oh, here we go, train's coming down. A couple 45-minute videos that I haven't published. You know, basically I could best title them as a rant or whatever, because they kind of are, but at the same time it's me being critical of stuff I've seen. First and foremost, let's all wish Ben a safe trip back to the States today. He's in transit. You know, I start getting to know you guys, some of you that interact with me. You know, I gotta say, one of the best things about having this channel is getting to know you. That being said, let's also start with the fact that on my channel, no opinions are important, really. The facts are what are important, which means my opinion on stuff isn't important either. So let's just make an agreement on my channel right now that we're not going to tell anybody else what to think. We're just going to put whatever it is out there, my experience, your experience in the comments, whatever it is, and that's it. And then people are going to make up their minds for themselves, because that's kind of like the right thing to do, just like freedom. So, you know, I've been talking about this project that I've got going on with MySQL and organizational network analysis or social network analysis. I call it organizational network analysis, and this is going to lead into my point. Because I view the media as an organization as a whole, even if that organization or business is the American government or a world government, right? And I mean, I know that I'm not as polished as some other people. I was doing telephone sales for a long time, and they used to call me Hammerhead because I was on the Shark team. You know, there was a group of us, and they were called the Sharks, and I was Hammerhead because my style is just to beat something into submission until I get it, and that's it. And my sales style was very much that way. And my sales style was very much by following up, doing what I say I'm going to do, tracking birds through the woods, and you're going to keep going, but sooner or later you're going to get what you're looking for. And that's kind of like how I roll, man, in everything. And I'm not popular because I say what's on my mind. And you'll notice too that if you have real friends like on Facebook and you have a political opinion, you'll see your friends, so-called friends, fall by the wayside constantly, man, because people aren't really your friends. And then even if you do have true friends, you'll find that when you start speaking about or discussing things of a political or religious nature, the people that, even though they're lifelong friends, are going to find several aspects that they disagree in. And so, you know, I've really found this out over the last few years with my Facebook account. Doing this organizational network analysis, which is what it is, because it's not social. It's all about controlling what people think. Julian Dorey reached out to me the other day after I came out on Camp Canyon talking about the waterboarding thing. In fact, I'm going to pause this video because I want to elaborate on that some more. So, hey, I'm sitting literally right across the street. It's 3:10 in the afternoon. Right across the street from DHS. And I just got done seeing some stuff online about how Trump and ICE are going to start contracting Eric Prince and Blackwater operatives to do bounty hunting in the United States. They're trying to divide us, dude. Trump's a puppet. Biden was a puppet. They're all puppets. And I've talked about this before. You know, people need to... I read the entire Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership when I was in school. I read the entire Affordable Care Act, which is weird because you got sitting politicians that can't be bothered to do something like that. And I'm just going to make it straight. Like I just got done telling you guys, Julian, Dorey, and I were talking by phone this morning. I'm going to stick just a snippet of it in there just to prove it. But I promise to give you guys the truth as far as like what's going on. You have all these people online that are like adrenaline junkies supporting treating people inhumanely or with violence. And I'm against all that shit, man, because I've done plenty of it, man. I'm not great. I'm not handsome. I'm getting old. I've got all this shit I don't like about me. I don't like my fucking face being out there, man. But, you know, I was down there that whole time. I was in Russia. I was in the Bering Sea. I never had a fucking YouTube channel where I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And if I'm doing what I'm doing right now, it is because I need to make sure that I'm doing my duty, which is to stand up to something that's not right. You got all these adrenaline junkies that want to act like they're John Wick and shit like that. I have my own personal friends right now volunteering to go sign up with Eric Prince and become ICE bounty hunters. And you know, I gotta ask you guys, man, what the fuck is that, dude? You got somebody out there that built your house and put your fucking toilet in, and you're against that shit? All because they're trying to feed their own family? Where is all this angst coming from, man? They literally got, and I agree that they do drive up prices, but on rent and shit like that, of course they do. And there's immigration fraud, the welfare system, all this other shit. I totally agree with you, man. I'm against that shit too. But you guys aren't talking any shit about Blackwater and Blackstreet and fucking Vanguard and all these other guys buying up all the single family homes, driving up rent prices either. Airbnb and all that other shit. But you're right here all over Chepe on the side of the freeway selling a fucking bag of oranges. And you know, I'm not going to tell you what to think. I fucking will not do it. I can't do it because none of us can tell any of us what to think. I'm just going to say this. When and where should someone deny you the ability to go out and get a job and eat something? You know, what the fuck is that? But you got these bankers buying up all these fucking properties, making it to where you'll never own a fucking home, even though you work 2 jobs like I do. I'm just going to say it. It is what it is. And all the John Wick people out there in the world that want their adrenaline rush, why the fuck won't they do it deploying to an actual war field where your enemy can actually put your ass in a casket just like you want to do to other people, man? If you put on a fucking uniform, you ought to be willing to accept that risk. And I'm watching all these people support private military armies, and to be completely fucking honest, I have personally applied with Blackwater, right? I've fucking done it. But not to go rounding up people domestically. It was always to go out and hunt down fucking Al Qaeda or some other shit to where my own fucking bacon's in the fryer, dude. Straight up. Triple canopy, right? That's another one I've applied there. But you got all these people at home that want to sit there and fight the safe fight without ever putting their own ass in the fucking fryer. And I'm against it. It's kind of a fucking pussy move. I don't like talking this coarsely, man. I don't. But, I mean, really, how else are you going to say it? Security guards at Safeway wearing tack vests and plate carriers like they're going to get into the North Hollywood bank robbery. If you agree to put on a uniform, you agree to forfeit your own life. And I did that in Mexico, man. You know what? I went to the United States to go get a fucking uniform. I went 7 times. You guys didn't want me. It doesn't mean that I can't do the right thing, though. And I went to Mexico, and they gave me the opportunity to do it. And when I went there, I've got some guy right now, Robert Lopez in Oxnard. Robert Lopez, 2503, I think it is, or 2305 on YouTube. Talking about I never did what I did, etc., etc., etc. I went to Mexico. I put on a uniform at the express risk of the life of myself and my wife, because my wife is actually braver than I am, straight up. She's a journalist. And we made a deal to stand up for the right thing, whatever that looks like. And it doesn't mean we're heroic. We're not. We're just 2 people that made a commitment to do the right thing, and that's it, right? No matter how we look, because so many times in life I have been wrong and have not stood up for the right thing, and that's not going to be me anymore. And someday it might mean that I lose my life, my wife loses hers. God, I hope that would never happen, ever. I'm not suicidal. But also, you know, the people that are out there sitting there saying I'm making stuff up, let me tell you something. If I'm making up stuff, I've already committed several felonies in Mexico and the United States. In Mexico, as far as giving out fraudulent documents and anything else to where the police and federal agents could come gaffle me up immediately just for claiming to have been Mexican forces when I was not, right off the top. Also, right off the top, if I'm giving out serial numbers and stuff like that that are made up, I'm also committing fraud. So I am 1,000 fucking % legit. And unlike Ed Calderon or unlike Gafe 423, of whom their business is not mine, my business is mine, and I'm going to talk about my business the way that I want to. I was absolutely fucking there. I absolutely made an agreement to put on that uniform. Some of the cartel people in the comment sections, along with the other trolls, are talking about burning me alive in a vat of oil or a vat of diesel. I made that deal a long time ago, the moment I put my fucking first leg and my first pant leg in the uniform. Not being bravado, that's just the way it is. So when I speak on this subject, I'm speaking on it as someone that's actually been there, not someone that just claims to be based in Mexico part-time. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully to anybody, but when you're talking about something that has the implications of a war with both countries where a lot of people on both sides can get hurt, which may happen anyways, that might be the correct way to go, I don't know, from people on both sides. It's not for me to make that decision, man. It is for me to say that when we do hear things on the subject, that those things should be real. That's the only thing I'm ever going to ask, right? I don't want any of your money. I don't want anything other than you guys being able to make an informed decision based on the facts as they are, and from people on both sides of the border, because we are all human beings. That's it, man. So, hey, I'm going to get off the thing right now. I got to send a package to Mexico to one of our buddies. And like I said, I'm going to be on Julian Dorey's channel on the 27th. We're going to be doing that. So we'll see where that goes, man. And, you know, I don't ever... Last thing, I've got my project going on strictly to the organizational network analysis, strictly to demonstrate the evidence, whatever that bears out, man. And then let you guys make up your mind about what's going on, because, you know, there's a lot of people that say that our media is controlled, to which I agree. So let's find out what it is. We'll put the data in a great big MySQL table. We'll create a database. I'm doing it right now. We'll stick it all in Gephi-Lite, and we'll figure out where those bubble diagrams go and see who's talking to who and who's doing what. And as far as the people that put all their cartel personnel on their YouTube channels to make some extra money because of danger tourism or whatever it is, I'm looking at you too. You know, I'm not a Marica, man. I put on my fucking uniform the same as my brothers. And the reporters in Mexico aren't Maricas either. They go out there and they risk their life, and they don't even have a weapon to guard them. They just have their fucking pen. And a lot of them are being disrespected by people that might not be genuine. And you know what? That needs to stop for all of our good. So that's what I got to say. No opinion, just facts. It's what it is. Cheers, man.